Most software builders treat agent frameworks like NPM packages, tools you can trial and swap in a single sprint. But Kai Wehner's 2026 Enterprise Landscape Report shows that treating these as casual utility libraries is now a primary driver of project failure. Selecting an agentic platform is a 12-month production commitment. If you pick a tool that doesn't align with your scale, the mismatch becomes visible at the 6-month mark, right when server costs spike and reliability drops because the use case outgrew the framework's design. Replatforming at that stage burns roughly 4 to 8 engineering weeks, creating a cascading interruption to every subsequent decision. I'm Bearded AI Guy, and this is episode 1 of a 7-part series on building a production-ready RAG help desk agent in 2026. Today's platform choice locks the next 6 months of your architecture. Planning to try it and rewrite it creates an engineering tax that can stall your shipping velocity for an entire quarter. Agent has been a marketing buzzword for 2 years, but look at the engineering definitions from Anthropic and Simon Willison. An LLM agent simply runs tools in a loop to achieve a goal. This diagram maps the agent skeleton. Strip a help desk agent to its core, you need exactly 4 primitives to make that loop work. First, tool calling. Reliable function execution with typed parameters. Second, memory and state, ensuring information actually survives across turns. Third is orchestration, the logic deciding when the agent is actually done. And finally, observability, so you can see exactly what the model did and why. A platform in 2026 is simply anything that gives you those 4 primitives. Choose a platform missing even one, and your engineering team is committed to building and maintaining that complex component from scratch. Think of the current framework landscape like assembling a kitchen. You can buy appliances from one vendor, mix and match components, or build the cabinetry yourself. This Google I/O presentation highlights the massive scale of Tier 1, model vendor SDKs. These are libraries like Claude Agent SDK or Google Antigravity, shipped directly by the AI labs. The trade-off here is straightforward. You get highly optimized performance for their specific models, but you accept strict vendor lock-in that breaks any multi-model routing plans. Tier 2 covers framework vendor SDKs, independent projects like LangGraph, Pydantic AI, or Crew AI that are optimized for portability across multiple models. Finally, Tier 3 is the no-framework approach. You make direct API calls and lean entirely on utility libraries. Skipping a framework avoids bloated abstractions, but it means your senior engineers have to hand-code standard error recovery loops themselves. There is simply no universal best tier. The right choice depends entirely on the seniority of your engineering team and how much vendor lock-in you're willing to absorb. If we look at 4 of the top enterprise help desk AI deployments in 2026, we see completely different technical blueprints. Klarna runs a massive state machine orchestration through LangGraph, handling 2.5 million conversations and significantly reducing resolution times. Contrast that with Intercom Fin. Their architecture review explicitly noted that they scaled to billions of interactions using a single agent, with 0 multi-agent orchestration. When you rely on a simple architecture, the bottleneck shifts. It stops being about framework limitations and becomes a test of your QA and evaluation team's operational rigor. Framework choice does not dictate scale. Rigorous tool design, high retrieval quality, and strict evaluation discipline drive enterprise success. Every platform provides the 4 primitives we covered earlier. What separates them is which specific developmental costs they discount. LangGraph makes crash recovery and human-in-the-loop gates incredibly cheap, but it forces your team to adopt a rigid state machine pattern to get there. Pydantic AI makes automatic parameter validation practically free. The catch is that the architecture restricts you to single-agent setups. Over in the OpenAI ecosystem, their SDK treats conversational handoffs as a core primitive, making it incredibly cheap to route users between support contexts. Don't look for the overall best tool. Identify which platform naturally subsidizes the specific primitives your unique workload requires. Skip generic comparison articles. Answer these 5 constraints with your team. 1. Which model vendor are you committed to? 2. How much state survives across turns? 3. Single or multi-agent? 4. Where will it run and who owns who infrastructure? 5. Who owns observability? Defining your observability and infrastructure constraints first does something critical. It empowers you to defend your framework choice to leadership, insulating your project from hype-driven pivots. Let's apply those 5 questions to the default profile for this series, a Python team building a chat-first help desk agent. When you filter that profile through the decision tree, it points directly to the Claude Agent SDK from Anthropic. The trade-off is clear. The team gains incredibly cheap tool execution, but strictly locks their architecture into Anthropic's ecosystem. If your constraints differ, your destination changes. Mastra works for TypeScript teams, LangGraph handles multi-day human-gated workflows, and the OpenAI SDK fits voice-first apps. The logic of this routing framework matters more than our specific verdict. Your own team's constraints should be the final architect of your stack. The platform you pick today is the platform you have to debug at 3 in the morning when a VIP customer's escalation hangs. Your choice must be dictated by what your engineering team intuitively understands in their bones, not what tops a benchmark leaderboard. Tomorrow is day 2, building the knowledge store. We'll cover how document parsing and chunking create silent failure modes you rarely catch in testing. If this breakdown helped you, subscribe to Bearded AI Guy and drop a comment with the platform you're betting on. Remember, an expertly orchestrated agent platform is entirely meaningless if the raw data it retrieves is flawed. We fix that tomorrow.